Welcome back to our car camping series. I'm so excited for this episode because we are showing the final steps of how we built our platform. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out episode 1 and 2 so that you're all caught up. But in this episode, we're showing you all of the final steps to put everything together. So let's get into it. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. All right, so it's day 2 of building the platform. Yesterday, Luke got, what was it, like half of it done? It took longer than planned. Part. Yeah, honestly, I can't take credit for it. Give us the update, Luke.
Yeah, here, let me show you. So we built the back half of the platform so far. We still need to screw this in to here. The idea is to have this here, and you pull it forward. It rests on there. We can put a drop pin on that and then have it balance up here. We'll rest in the grooves right there, and we'll have some drop pins where we'll place it on top there. It's going to be tricky getting these to the right angle to where they can best support the plank, but hey, we're going to try. The idea is to still be able to do this here. However, if I push this forward against the seat and I try to close the trunk, it's like a centimeter too long.
So since it doesn't close all the way, Luke realized that we just had to cut the corners off to get it to fit. This is definitely taking longer than we planned. What was the longest part? Or like figuring out the angle of the other planks? Of like the middle plank?
I still don't think it took them 20 minutes. Maybe 20 minutes to put it in.
Yeah, we watched another YouTube video where it was like 20-minute install it. But also it wasn't like permanent. Like they didn't screw it on this bottom platform. It was all like the drop pins and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, I was trying to do it in 15 minutes to beat them, but it's okay. This isn't more sturdy.
No way, yeah. And plus they had already cut everything up and stuff.
He's like, there's no way.
Yeah. But we're gonna chop off these corners here and hopefully that will work.
And then it'll fit, yeah.
Okay, maybe a saw might be better.
Watching these videos back just cracks me up because you can just tell how inexperienced we are. But hey, Luke is brilliant and very innovative. And so he figured out a way, even if it's not the prettiest, it is functional. And that's what we're going for, okay? So we started out by just cutting off the corners because we thought that was enough to get it to close all the way when we closed the trunk. And then we brought it outside and we screwed in the foundation pieces for the 2x4s. As you see here, we did that for all 4. And we brought it in and made sure it fit in the car. And then we tested it and closed the back and it worked and we were so excited. But then we realized that when we extended it out, we didn't calculate for like the incline of the seats when they lay flat, and honestly I'm not quite sure, but we just didn't calculate it correctly, so we actually needed to cut more off to make sure that the trunk closed all the way. And so luckily Luke's grandpa came to the rescue. This method was a little bit easier than what Luke was doing before, and so we cut off about 1/2 inch or so, as you see here. Then after cutting that off, we had to sand it down again, which felt like the 100th time that we were sanding it down, but it's okay. We had to make sure it was smooth. We tried to make it a little bit more straight since we didn't cut it perfect, but hey, it gives it character, right?
No, you can't see our mistake.
Oh, good.
Luke's grandpa is so sweet, and I thought what he said there represented perfectly of literally our whole process of building this platform. It's just the goal of hiding our mistakes and restarting and fixing what we messed up. But it was awesome just to work together and try and put this together and make our goal and our vision come to life. Even if it wasn't perfect, it was just so much fun to work together, and we're so grateful that his grandpa was willing to help us because it went so much smoother than if we tried to do this by ourselves. Once we cut off and sanded down what we needed to, we brought the platform back outside and then we laid everything out, and then Luke added these blocks to make it a little bit more centered and sturdy for when we add the drop pins in. Again, so we're trying to make it temporary so that we can insert the drop pins when we lay on it, and if we needed to have the back seats up, then we can take the drop pins out, bring the platform back and stack it, and then just use the back seats like normal. And so again, all these clips just crack me up because you can just tell that Luke is just learning as he goes, and it just cracks me up, but it works. So he figured out, he screwed in those little blocks, and then we brought it back in the car. We just kept going back and forth, and he used this drill, I don't know what it's called, to make the hole for the drop pins. And he did this for all 4 drop pins, but as you can tell, the one in the middle, the 2x4s that are in the middle, are a little bit different because half of it, they're actually screwed into the back platform, the one that's permanent and stays in our trunk. And then the other side, the other half of the 2x4, we did the drop pin for. That way it was extra secure. Luke and I were just so excited to see the vision come to life and put everything together, and we were just so pumped to get on the road. But let's fast forward about a month later. We had been on the road for about 3 weeks now, and we quickly learned that it was such a pain to put things in and out of our trunk underneath the platform. It just wasn't quite tall enough, and it wasn't very functional. So I actually had the idea. I'm very proud of this because this is the only idea I had for the whole platform practically, but I had the idea to add hinges. That way we could lift up the back platform and just access everything easier. And so while we were home visiting our families, my dad was very kind and he was willing to help. So I know it looks jank. It doesn't look pretty, but we're not focused on that, okay? We're focused on the functionality of it, remember? So it worked perfectly. We honestly just needed a little bit more height to reach things easier. That way when we cook, we didn't have to drag everything out. We didn't have to take everything out every single time. We could lift it up and grab what we needed. We could put things in and out so much easier. Seriously, this made the biggest difference as we lived on the road. So if you are making a setup, I highly recommend keeping this in mind, whether it's hinges or something similar. Just keep it in mind because it seriously makes your life so much easier as you live day to day on the road. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out episode 1 and 2. This is actually the final episode of the setup, so make sure you watch all 3 episodes so you can know step by step of how we built our platform. And I'm so excited because next week I'm going to upload our morning routine of living on the road. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, and like and comment, all of that good stuff. But I really appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate all of your support, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to